If you're a Bachelor Nation fanatic and Bridgerton fan, the new dating show The Courtship will be your new favorite obsession.
We're in a fairy tale, and I'm ready to fall in love.
What is The Courtship? The Courtship is a new dating show that's taking dating all the way back to the 1900s. There's no swiping right or swiping left, and definitely no boom boom rooms like we see in Bachelor in Paradise. The show revolves around one woman who's looking to find her husband and will have the chance to see if one of the 16 very handsome suitors are worthy enough to take her hand in marriage. As we get introduced in the trailer, a British female narrator takes us through the show. Once upon a time, a young woman began a quest for true love. Can the old ways of courtship lead to a new romance? A journey where swiping is out and courting is in, she says. Respect, trust, and chivalry are main factors in this dating show, and the scenery puts the cast in a real-life fairy tale. The cast are transported back to Regency-era England, where they will be living countryside in a breathtaking castle. Not only will the men have to fight for the love of the leading lady, Nicole Remy, but must also ask for her court's permission to ask for her hand in marriage.
Bloody hell.
Step aside, Cinderella. We have a new princess ready to find her Prince Charming. What inspired the show? The show went through some rebranding throughout the planning phase, and it actually wasn't originally supposed to be called The Courtship. The show was initially based off the famous novel Pride and Prejudice that was later turned into the 2005 film starring Keira Knightley and Matthew Macfadyen. Since the show was inspired from the novel, it was originally named Pride and Prejudice, an experiment in romance. Even though the title of the show changed, the concept remained the same.
I'm loving this.
A twist on The Bachelor. The Courtship is described as a cross between The Bachelor and Bridgerton. But what do they mean? Well, The Courtship is a reality dating show just like The Bachelor, but the dates, activities, and all-around atmosphere are much like Bridgerton. Like The Bachelorette, the show focuses on one woman's quest for love, and will be able to pick her future husband between a sea of men. However, the Bachelor franchise usually starts each season with over 30 contestants, which doesn't allow the leading man or woman to form connections with all of the contestants. Instead, the courtship starts out with only 16 suitors.
15 other dudes and one girl?
There will be weekly challenges that the men will have to go through, but they won't consist of private country concerts or wrestling matches. At the end of each week, there will be a farewell ball where the eliminations will take place, so we won't have to sit through a prolonged and kind of dull rose ceremony. Sorry, Bachelor Nation, but you were thinking it too.
Seriously?
And of course, there is quite literally no show without a host. British journalist Rick Edwards is set to host the show, and he looks like the perfect fit. Since he's from England and he's hosting an American reality show, he's questioning if his humor will be understood to a different culture. When promoting the show on his Instagram, he said, "I honestly don't know if this will be available to watch legally in the UK, but if it is, you'll like it." He then jokingly added, "Do Americans immediately warm to my sense of humor? Not exactly, no." Is it too soon to say he will be the modern Regency-era Chris Harrison? Modern-day reality Bridgerton. If the cast will act anything like the characters in Bridgerton, then this show might get us hot and bothered. Like Bridgerton, the cast of The Courtship will be transported to Regency-era England and live life as if they were back in those times. We're talking masquerades, balls, gowns, the whole shebang. The men will show off their honor through a series of challenges that aren't like your typical modern-day swoonery, and TBH, we're here for it. They will show off their physical attributes through fencing and archery, but will also show their soft sides through handwritten letters and carriage rides.
May the best man win.
Oh, and Nicole will be able to live out her Allie Hamilton's dreams by going on a boat ride in the pond with her suitors. The leading lady. Okay, enough about how the show works. Now let's talk about heroine Nicole Remy. According to The Courtship's press release, Nicole Remy is a modern girl tired of modern dating. Well, this is the show for her.
Never been more ready.
Nicole is seriously the woman who embodies beauty and brains. The 26-year-old graduated from the University of Southern California and majored in geodesign. After college, she became an architecture associate, so she helped build commercial and residential buildings. Big job, right? Well, she did that all while being a dancer for the Seattle Seahawks. Unfortunately, she lost her job due to COVID, so she decided to learn how to code and went back to school and graduated from the University of Washington. After graduating, she made a career shift and is now a software engineer for a startup tech company. It seems like after she went after her dreams dancing for an NFL team and established herself in her career, this boss lady is ready to find love. And what better way to do that than on national TV? And by the looks of the trailer, she's one tough cookie. In a clip, an unknown suitor asked her for her hand to dance, and in front of everyone, she calls them out for not being on the show for her.
Sorry, I can't dance right now. I know what's going on. I know that you're not here for me.
Did someone say it's tea time? The Suitors. Now that we know the heroine deserves nothing less than the perfect man, will her suitors live up to her standards? Nicole will be choosing her future husband from a group of 16 male suitors who will be fighting for her love and affection.
They're gorgeous. I don't even know how to explain it.
Let us just say the men are pretty hot, like Simon Bassett hot. An interesting fact about the men is that not all of them are from the United States. Most of them are, but suitors like Mr. Charlie Mumbrae and Captain Danny Kim are from England and South Korea. While the men must live up to the highest honor, what's a dating show without a little scandal and drama? In a clip of the trailer, a suitor and Nicole are seen getting pretty hot in a private bubble bath. Then Captain Danny Kim is seen yelling at another contestant for getting a little too close to the leading lady.
Be with her last night. You're hiding this from her family.
Oh, God.
Although we may not know exactly what scandalous tidbit went down, the rest of the court and contestants looked shook. Suitor Peter Safa looks like a man straight out of the Bridgerton show. With long blonde hair pulled back into a low pony, this man looks like a blast from the past. Peter is a self-proclaimed hopeless romantic that isn't a fan of dating apps. When describing romance, he says, "You can never go wrong with a candlelit dinner and some red wine." Introducing The Court. Now, what really makes this The Courtship different than the other dating show is the third party that plays a big role not only in the show, but in the decision-making of who will end up with Nicole. If you think hometowns will make a contestant shake in their boots, then you have no idea how these men are going to feel when they see Nicole's family before they even go on a date with her.
I'd like to introduce The Court.
I'm introducing all of them to my parents right from the start.
The court is made up of Nicole's mother, Claire, father Claude, sister Danny, and bestie Tessa. You can think of them as Nicole's fairy godparents, perhaps, or a board of trusted advisors in everyday terms. The men will be introduced to Nicole's family in the beginning of the dating process, not at the end like other shows. When describing the perfect man for Nicole, her mother says that they are looking for somebody who values family. By the looks of the trailer, the court will be alongside Nicole during the farewell balls and will even have one-on-one time with the suitors. So, when can we watch? We'll be able to get our real-life Bridgerton fix very soon, ladies and gentlemen. The Courtship was originally supposed to be a Peacock series. You know, when it was first called Pride and Prejudice and Experiment in Romance. However, the show will now air on NBC and premieres on Sunday, March 6th. For those of you who are strictly streamers, you can watch the show the day after each episode airs on Peacock. Let's see if The Courtship will prove that chivalry isn't dead. By the looks of the trailer, there is just as much scandal in the Bridgerton days as there are in the swipe era. Do you think this show is actually what reality television needs, or will it be a flop? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to The Things Reality.